The Adventures of Carla and Ricardo by Haley, Chanel, Clarissa, and Kayla. In the Paris of Costa Rica, there was a leopard named Cara. The leopard was Mumie Bonita.
Cara's owner, named Ricardo, had just gotten a job working in the Mina de Ora down in the street. Ricardo was excited about his new job. He would work all day and every day, and Carla started to miss him.
One day, Ricardo didn't have to work, but he wanted to go down to the mina anyways. When he had arrived at the entrada of the mine, there was a letrero started a warning that nobody was allowed to go into the mina.
Ricardo ignored the letrero and walked in anyway. Cara was in the window of the house watching as Ricardo walked down to the mina. Cara could sense that there was danger approaching, so she jumped out of the window and followed him.
As Ricardo walked into the mina, he noticed that it was very wet and it was kind of shaky. He looked around to see if anybody was around, but the mina was completely fossil. Cara entered the mina and he couldn't see Ricardo.
Cara found Ricardo and he said, "Cara, how did you get down here? You aren't allowed down here." Cara whined and started to walk back, but then the mina started to crumble. They needed to find a way out fast. Ricardo jumped on Cara's back and started to run. Rocas and dirt were falling down on top of them.
One of the rocos fell on top of Ricardo and knocked him off Cara. Ricardo was trapped and he needed ayuda. Outside of the mina, there were firefighters that threw down a cuerda for Ricardo to grab. Ricardo struggled but finally made it out safe.
After that, Ricardo didn't want to work in the mina any longer, and he found a new job working in a pet store. Cara liked this job. She got to come along and help out.